In order to create a ring band in Rhino, there are information that we need to gather beforehand. So we will need to find out what ring size we are hoping to create the band in, so that we can gather what is the inner circle diameter or circumference that's corresponding to that ring size. In my case, I'm hoping to create a US size 6 ring band, and I have already looked up the corresponding circumference of a US size 6 ring band. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my toolbar section and go to this circle command icon, single click, and I'm going to use my origin point to be the center of my circle, and I'm going to single click so that I can switch from diameter to this circumference option. And I'm going to go ahead and type in 51.87, which is what's corresponding to a US size 6 inner circle or inner ring band circumference. And now we can take it from this inner band circle. We are going to offset this circle by however thick you need your ring band to be. Now that will have to do with what material you are going to 3D print this ring band into. In my case, if I were to print this in castable wax and then use a metalsmithing casting process to cut this ring band form, then I will at least want my ring band to be about 1.5 millimeter thick-wise, so that it's a durable enough ring for everyday wear. So I'm going to set my distance at 1.5 and make sure you're clicking to the outside of your circle. And now we have this set of 2 circles to begin with. We can go ahead and draw a window to select both curve and then do ExtrudeCrv. I want to make sure that I check this box of solid because I'm hoping to create a solid ring band form, because I don't want it to be just 2 standing wall surfaces. And now we need to think about how wide we want our ring band to be. I'm going to say 4 millimeter to be the width of my ring band. If I go into my perspective view, kind of zoom in, this is a really simple ring band that we are able to create by using the circle, offset, and ExtrudeCrv command. And to take it from here, there are different ways that we can start from this ring band and make this into a more elaborated shape. Something that I can show you will be, let's create a sphere using this endpoint to be the center of my sphere with a diameter of 4 millimeter. I am hoping to, I'm gonna use my gumball track to move this so that now I can use this sphere to work with the Boolean difference process for my ring band to create some texture on top of the ring band. Then let me type in Boolean difference. So we want to subtract from this ring band form, press enter, and this is what we are hoping to subtract the ring band with. And now we can hit return. And we can see if I were to continue with this process, I can create interesting texture on top of my ring band. And we can also combine this Boolean difference process with some Boolean union shape, and we can really take it from here. And something that I want to stress about using this subtraction, which is Boolean difference process, to work from this ring band will be, we will need to make sure the leftover material is going to be thick or durable enough for this model to be successfully 3D printed and then either being worn as it is or cast into metal materials. And this is not the only way to create a simple ring band. Let me move this away for a bit. And we are going to talk about another command called pipe, which is also a really straightforward way of creating a ring band shape to begin with. So again, I'm going to create a circle that represents my US size 6 ring band's inner circle. And now that I have this circle to begin with, let me go ahead and make a pipe first, and then we can go back and explain how we need to handle it a little bit differently from this extruding curve process. So to create a pipe, go ahead and type in pipe and then hit return, and this is the curve we're hoping to pipe. And let's do a radius of 1 millimeter to see, and I am going to hit return. We will explain this process in a bit. I'm going to hit return for now because I want a uniform pipe for now. So this is the pipe that we were able to create. Let me go to the rendered display mode so that we can see better and compare this piped ring band with the extruded one. But the problem with making a pipe starting with the same circle as we use for extruding curve option is that because of how the pipe command works, we are shrinking our ring band size down. I'm going to leave that there, and we can talk about how we could solve this problem. Okay, so I'm going to start by creating a circle that represents the US size 6 ring band size. And let's say if I were to want a pipe that is 1 millimeter for the pipe's radius, then what I want to do is I will want to offset my pipe. I want to offset my inner ring band circle by a distance of 1 millimeter so that I can use this offset circle to create a pipe. Let's do pipe again. And we need to still do this 1 millimeter radius. So hit return and hit it twice. And now we are able to compensate for the process that this command works in, and we're not shrinking our ring band size down because of the pipe process. And with that said, the same drill applies for this piped ring band. We can use Boolean difference, Boolean union to further alter the look of this ring band, but there are something that's really straightforward that I'm hoping to talk about with this pipe command. I'm going to go ahead and command all and delete everything. so let's go back to creating a circle to begin with. And again, we are going to offset it by 1. And this time, I'm going to hit return. But this time I'm hoping to assign different points for my radius of the pipe. So let's say on this quad point, I'm going to set the radius to be 0.8 millimeter. Hit return. And then on this midpoint here, I'm going to go ahead and set it to be 0.5 millimeter. Hit return. And let's say I'm happy with how the parameter looks like for now. I'm going to go ahead and hit return. And if I were to go into this perspective view, we can see that I'm able to create a pipe which is not uniform in diameter or radius. And some other interesting shape that you can create with this pipe command is that if I were to set this point to take on a radius of 1, I can make this slightly larger, and you don't have to enter a specific parameter. You can just single click, and that will set the radius for that point. And let me make this 0.5 millimeter again, and let's make this slightly larger, and then let's hit return and see. Now I was able to create a more exaggerated pipe by assigning different radius to specific points. And that would be some basic approaches with regard to starting the starting point of a ring band shape in Rhino.